Hi everyone, it's Miss Kristen with the Pittston Memorial Library. Welcome back for our STEAM Club for the month of November. So today we are actually going to do 2 activities dealing with things that you have around the house. And the main star of the show is going to be apples. Okay, so for our first little experiment, we are going to make an apple volcano. So what you need for this is an apple, and what you're going to do is cut out a hole at the top. Sorry, mine's kind of old looking because I actually cut this last night, so it's not quite fresh looking, but it doesn't matter, it won't affect anything. And then you need like a tray or something like that to catch all our volcano parts. Okay, so for this activity, what you're going to do is take some baking soda. And you don't really have to measure it out, but somewhere around like a teaspoon, maybe something like that, of baking soda. And then you're going to put it in, mine's a heaping teaspoon, in the little divots that you made in your apple. Okay. Then the other thing that you need is vinegar. We go big or go home around here, our big bottle of vinegar. So what this is baking soda is a base, and vinegar is actually an acid. And so when you mix an acid and a base together, you're going to have a chemical reaction, which is really fun to do. So even if you know what's going to happen, that's okay. This is one of those things that's just as much fun the first time as it is the 10th time that you've done it. Okay, so we decided to add, this is our vinegar, and we decided to add just a little bit of food coloring to it. You don't need food coloring, just something to add to it to make it a little bit more fun, but not anything that is necessary. Okay, so you already have your baking soda in here, you have your vinegar ready. If you have glasses or any kind of science goggles or something like that, that's always fun to put on before you do an experiment, safety first. Okay, and then you're just going to, move this a little bit, I think you can see it. Then we're just going to pour our vinegar and watch what happens. Woo! It's bubbly, ooh, I'm almost going over the side, and foamy, and a whole lot of fun. Okay, so when you mix that acid and the base, this is the chemical reaction that you're going to get. And what's also fun, especially since this is a metal pan, I can feel the difference. This has created an endothermic reaction. So what happens is the heat is absorbed and then it becomes cold. So you can feel, especially like I said on a metal pan, the coldness of the liquid too. Okay, so that's a fun, simple one. And for our second one, you're going to need a glass jar or just a cup or something like that so that you can see what's going on. You're going to need your baking soda again, some water, half a cup of water, and this time we're going to use lemon juice. So lemon juice is another acid, baking soda is a base, and water is actually neither acid or base, it's neutral. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one is take about 2/3 of a teaspoon of baking soda and put it in our jar. So you don't really have to measure too closely. So it's more than half, less than a whole one. All right, we're going to put that in there. And then we're going to take our half cup of water. Okay, and we'll give it a little stir so that the baking soda totally dissolves. Okay, and then the star of this show is actually going to be the teeny tiny little apple seeds that you can get out of your apple too. Okay, so then what you want to test for this one, I tried this at home and realized that not all apple seeds sink. What you need are apple seeds that sink. So you can just test it out in water ahead of time and see if they sink or float. It seemed like the Macintosh floated while Honeycrisp sank, so who knows, but I think they're supposed to sink, but oh well. You never know when you're doing science experiments what exactly is going to happen. Okay, so then once your baking soda is dissolved, you can toss in your apple seeds and hope that they sink to the bottom. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so now they are all down at the bottom, hanging out. And now we are going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice. Okay, so again, we're mixing an acid and a base, so there is going to be a little bit of a chemical reaction, not quite as exciting as our volcano, but you'll see here. And then we're going to watch what happens to our apple seeds. So yes, they are all sinking right now. So we're going to see what happens to the apple seeds. So let's make some predictions. Do we think the apple seeds are going to get bigger? Are they going to still sink at the bottom? Are they going to float? What's going to happen? Make some predictions. Okay, so now we're going to add that in there. Okay, there's our little bit of chemical reaction there. And I'm going to stir it up a little bit. So there's some bubbles. All right, and now I'm going to move the camera a little bit, and we're going to watch what happened to our apple seeds. So I don't see any on the bottom anymore. I think they are all floating on the top. But we'll wait just a few moments here. Oop, I see one. Just one sank to the bottom. And we'll see if any more. Oh, there's a couple more. They're going down. And then, move it a little bit closer here. Yes, there they go. Some are sinking to the bottom, and then they're floating back up. And then they're sinking down again and floating back up. So this is a jumping apple seed. There's one that just did it over here. A jumping apple seed science experiment, I guess you can call it. So what's going on here, I'll just keep the camera there. So what's going on is when we mixed our lemon juice with our diluted baking soda, bubbles formed, as you saw. So what's happening is they all floated to the top because of all the extra bubbles. So when they get to the top and the bubbles are popping, they are sinking down to the bottom. But then when they're down at the bottom, they're absorbing, they're getting bubbles attached to them, and enough bubbles are causing them to jump up and down. So they're jumping apple seeds. Yay, I'm so glad that that worked. Okay, so star of the show, apples and apple seeds, baking soda, water, vinegar, lemon juice, probably all things that you have at home. So go ahead and try this yourselves. See how many volcanoes you can make, maybe different colors. Let me know how it works. Hopefully it works out for you guys as well. Honestly, with this one, this is like the second or third time that I did it. No, maybe the fourth time. 2 times it didn't work, 2 times it did. So you just never know. So don't give up. Just try again. All right. Thanks everyone for joining me. Bye-bye.